Hi everyone, welcome to Technique Tuesday. Today we're exploring the world of alcohol inks. We'll be using two different backgrounds. One is a matte acrylic paint and the other one is going to be decoupage sealer. We're going to start off with our tag at 2.5 by 4. I've gone ahead and prepped 2 tags. We're going to start with the acrylic white paint. Any white acrylic paint will work. I just happened to use a matte version as I wanted the alcohol inks to shine on their own. Doesn't need to be perfect. You can leave it a little bit rustic on either side if you like. I happen to give mine 2 coats in order to give a more of an ingrained look from the paintbrush. And you can go ahead and heat set that if you like, or you can let it dry. It takes about 15 minutes. On the next tag, we're going to be using the decoupage sealer. Again, I'm using matte. Although it does have quite a sheen on here, it is a matte version. You won't notice it too much once you start putting your alcohol inks down. Again, you can heat set that or let it sit to dry. So I have 2 more prepped here and ready to go. And we're going to start with our lightest color. So this one I chose Snow. These alcohol inks are by Couture Creations. Nothing fancy here. I'm just using a straw to push the alcohol ink around. If you have one of those air blowers, go ahead, you can use that as well. We're now using the blue as well from Couture Creations. And we're going to move it around just by blowing it. If you'd like to have more movement in your inks, go ahead and use some alcohol blending solution. I chose to have mine just stay a little bit more solid. We're going to add some silver. This one has glitter in it, so you're going to see a bit of a sheen once it starts to dry. The lighter your alcohol ink, the more movement you will get. It's why I keep adding in white, as it allows for that movement just a little bit better. So I decided to bring in another color. We're just using some amethyst here. If you don't want that to be so solid, go ahead. Now's a good time to add your blending ink. I just chose to add the white Snow to move things around. Keep adding your alcohol inks until you're happy with the end result. You can always go back after it's dried to add more in if you think you have some areas that you'd like to lighten up or darken. You can always do that. If you don't want to add any more color but you just don't like the solidity of that, go ahead, spray it down with a little bit of blending ink. It'll help you move that ink around and it'll give you a more translucent look. I just keep adding until I'm happy with the results. There is no perfection in this. This is just all personal liking. So I'm going to let that dry. So far I'm happy with the results. Oops, one more little bit of white. Decided that was a little bit too dark there. Again, keep moving it until you're happy. Don't feel that once you've done it, it's the final product. You can always go back. So now we're going to try it on top of the matte sealer. This gives it a little bit, there's a lot of movement here on top of this sealer. It's a little bit more of a glossy finish. There's not a whole lot of penetration into the paper. So you're going to find that this moves just a little bit differently. So you may not need to use as much alcohol ink to get that movement that you want. Again, if you want more translucent look, add your blending solution. I was happy with the darkness of the blue, so I chose not to use any blending solution. I just kept adding the white and the silver to move the ink around. Keep adding, keep moving the ink until you get that look that you're looking for. When you're using a matte sealer on a cardstock, your inks are not going to be as vibrant. So you have to take that into consideration when you are choosing your papers to do alcohol inks. If you want that vibrant look, it's best to stick with Yupo paper. That way you will not have your inks soak in, and the white on your Yupo paper will allow you to create that vibrant look. I was just looking for a little bit more of a matte, darker look using these, and I had some extra cardstock that I wanted to use up while providing a different look for my tags. Remember, nothing is permanent. You can always go back and add more. It's the beauty of alcohol inks. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Technique Tuesday. Thanks for joining us and happy crafting.